Space Chimps. Everyone thinks Space Chimps is just another bad 2000s animated movie, but I don't think that's true. Too many movies go under the radar, often due to low ratings and criticism, and Space Chimps is one of them. I get it, it's cheesy sometimes, but that's just part of the fun. I remember renting this movie at a local library as a kid, and I loved it. In recent weeks I rewatched it and it surprised me. It's one of those movies that is really underrated, and I think it should have had an opportunity to have a more loyal fan base. I mean, 2 years later they had... We don't talk about that. Most people say Space Chimps is bad because the animation feels cheap, especially compared to Pixar and DreamWorks. The plot was often described as rushed and empty, which I don't think that's it at all. Yeah, it does feel a bit rushed, but I think they managed to control most of the pacing during the movie. Our main protagonist was seen as annoying instead of heroic, and the villain? People thought he was just generic and forgettable. The movie did have some fans, including myself at the time amongst young kids, but it failed to connect with critics and adults alike, and unfortunately it became forgettable. For some people it felt like a fever dream, and suddenly remember it years later. Okay, the 2000s mostly had fever dream movies, huh? This movie surprised me because I thought going back to watch it years later wouldn't be how I remember it, but it was exactly how I remember it. The visuals, the dialogue, the humour, it was all there. The plot was decently paced, and the animation was surprisingly good. It was a product of its time for sure, but it felt like a fun family movie. Alright, hear me out. The reason I say this because clearly they tried as best they could. It wasn't a plot that didn't make sense. It was right there on the table. You knew what you was getting into. The start of the movie is in your face instantly, presenting you with flashbacks. It kinda reminds me of the Simpsons movie. The movie introduces great characters, Ham, Houston, the Clown. Instantly felt like you was gonna have a fun time. The pacing, as I said before, is decent, and I do admit, it is a bit fast at times, and sometimes I do get a bit confused on some of the things that happen.
When are you gonna straighten up and fly right?
Saturday, about 10 a.m.
What? Why did that... Why was that necessary? What? But if you ignore all of that, you can genuinely enjoy it. The humour of this movie, I admit, does have its ups and downs. With Ham, for example, it's just... But you can genuinely overlook that because what I enjoy the most is the interactions between Titan and Zartog. The whole scene is on point. It's witty, stupid and genius for Zartog's character. And every time it cuts to Ham and Luna, you just want to see more of these two idiots. Oh, yeah, and the aliens of course. Zartog is a hilarious villain in a good way, because it brings the dumb personality a sense of fresh air. He's not vague like a typical Hollywood villain. He has more layers to him than we expect. He's like Dr. Eggman in a charming way, and having the innocent aliens as minions which adds more layer to the humour. Scenes with Ham and Titan are perfect too, giving the big and little brother energy. I think this movie does have a good ongoing theme and message behind it. For example, Ham feels like he can't live up to the expectations of his grandfather, so he becomes part of the circus. And if you think about it, it happens to a lot of people in the modern world today. Everyone wants to live up to the expectations of their parents, celebrities and online trends no matter what it is. The thing is, no one realises what they're missing, and we see that between Ham and his grandfather. And I genuinely think we should inspire to be better as people. Live by really good advice from someone wise. It can be hauntingly beautiful, how in the end it works out if you have patience and be yourself. Don't try to be someone else, as you will live to regret it in the long run. I will always enjoy this movie and feel nostalgic for it. For a 2008 movie, they did a really good job at leveling some pacing. It was released at the same time as WALL-E, and yeah, that's another reason why it fell under the radar. But to be honest, I don't think that matters. What matters is that this movie and a game, yep, they made a game, is a hidden gem.